Sorry about that. Tech issues as always. But hello, what's today? Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. We hope you had a really nice week. And we are so grateful and excited to be here with you all today. So drop a hey, let us know that you're here in the comments. Drop a hashtag live if you're with us live tonight. If you're watching the replay, drop hashtag replay. We'd love to see who is joining us, whether it's live or later on. If you also want to share where you're from, we love to see where we are reaching, where our viewers are from. So happy to have you all with us. So for those of you who may be new to our group, I am Jillian Willey, and I am a mindset and manifestation coach. And I have with me the amazing Dr. Matthew Singer. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep, I'm a holistic doctor and also specialize in human behavior and mindset as well.
So together we're a dynamic duo, and we are here to bring you hot topic tonight, talking about stress and anxiety and that overwhelm feeling. So we're going to talk a little bit about why those feelings show up, what they mean a little bit, and some strategies of how you can release that icky feeling. So Matt, do you want to share your strategy first?
Sure. So when the topic of stress comes up, I work with a lot of patients all the time who are under stress. Everybody's under stress. Even myself, everybody has stress. In the beginning, stress is helpful for us. It helps motivate us. However, when the stress becomes our everyday routine, that's where it becomes dangerous. So, for example, the topic which I was going to discuss was basically about condition-based love. So in terms of condition-based love, here's what it would look like. You wake up in the morning and somebody wants something from you. And instead of making your own decisions or living your own life, you do what the other person wants. So for example, you get into work and when you have a desire to do something and something derails you, like for example, your coworker says, you know, I really think that you should work on this instead of this, or I really don't like the way that this shows up. I don't like what you're doing here. When someone tries to take your energy away and you allow them, that's where the stress starts because your inner self knows that you're not being authentic anymore. And when we feel as though another person is controlling our thoughts, our outcomes, when we're doing something that we really don't want to do, but we're doing it for somebody else, that's where the stress starts. Because you cannot fool the universe and you can't fool your inner being. Your heart knows exactly what you want. And if you say, you know what, fine, I'll do it this time, then we end up getting into that cycle of doing it again and again and again. And when we get into that cycle, now we're living from a level of stress instead of a level of joy. And that makes it to the point where now you're tired all the time. Because if you're spending all of your time worrying about what other people are going to think or say, or worrying about what the day is going to be like tomorrow, you're giving all of your energy away. And when you give your energy away, if you're given 100% energy every day to work with, to allow your immune system and your endocrine system and your body to do what it has to do, and now you're taking 40% of that energy being stressed, that's only 60% energy to actually help your body heal and thrive and grow. So that becomes a very dangerous situation. So a couple techniques that I implore people to do. One is first recognize the fact that they're being pulled in a direction that they don't want to go. I always tell people, decide when you are faced in a situation, even as simple as a friend saying, oh, I want to meet this guy tonight at this restaurant or this bar, come with me. And you don't want to go, but you go anyway. That's how simple it is. So first recognize that it's happening. That's where your power is. When you can recognize that you're now doing something you don't want to do for somebody else. And now you're not being authentic to yourself. That's condition based love. The other thing with condition based love is when we recognize it, we now can take our power back. Because guess what happens? When you do that one thing for your friend, they're going to expect you to do it again. And you might do it 50 times in a row. And the one time you don't do it, what do you think happens? They
Mhm.
ditch you, right? You're not a friend. You don't love me. You don't care about me. Yet they don't forget the other things that we've done for them. So always first and foremost, honor yourself. So recognize when you're in that situation. The second thing you want to do is you want to decide how it feels. You want to almost make like a process. You want to write it down. What's the pros and cons of actually doing this thing? Um, one of my favorite authors, John DeMartini, he has a collapse process, and he basically writes down what's the benefit to me by doing it, what's the negative, what's the benefit to the other person. He basically collapses it, and then he can see clearly that he's being swayed in the wrong direction. Um, and then when you're actually authentic and you're telling the person that you're just not going to do it, the third thing is let go of the outcome. You can't tell somebody no, but then care about what they think. You have to let go and detach from the outcome because they're going to respond in a way that you don't want them to. When you're okay with that, that's where growth occurs. And that's where true love occurs because when you're honest enough with yourself to say no, they're going to respect you and you're going to respect yourself. So those are the tips that I like to share with people. And of course, there's so many more, and obviously in our uh, with our coaching group, that's where we get into it in much more detail. But just on the surface, those are three simple things to start with. Obviously, it goes much more advanced and more detailed. Um, but Jill, tell me what you like to do.
Before I do that, there is a question that came in before we
Yes.
kind of switch over gears a little bit. So there's a question of how do you decide if something that you're going to do for someone, if it's I want to be kind and I want to help the people in my life, or if it's something that you shouldn't do because you don't want to do it. Does
Well,
that
because
make sense?
you're gonna feel it in your heart. So it's the same thing as if you're at a restaurant and your spouse says, "Oh, I ordered squid. I want you to try it." And you love squid, it feels great. But if you don't love it and you feel bad, you don't want to hurt the person's feelings, don't do it. So it's as simple as you're going to feel it in your heart. It does not feel good. We're equipped with a emotional guidance system, and when it does not feel good, that's a no. Okay, it's as simple as that. Follow your feelings when you're approached with the situation. Okay.
Mhm. That's great advice. So to kind of piggyback on that a little bit. So something that I have noticed in my life and in a lot of my clients' lives is stress, overwhelm can come from when things just keep getting piled on the plate. So maybe you have laundry to do, maybe you've got to cook dinner, maybe you've got to pack lunches for tomorrow, maybe your husband comes in and says, "Hey, I need you to go do this for me," or "Can you watch the kids so I can do X, Y, and Z?" And when you get to work, same thing. You've got all these different things on your to-do list, and then someone pops in and says, "Hey, can you come look at my computer and fix this for me?" Or whatever you've got going on. Those are just some examples. But things keep piling on, and then we start to get stressed. We start to feel like, how am I going to do this? We start losing focus of, well, where do I start? I've got so much to do. This can also happen if you let clutter pile up. You start your room, say your kitchen gets cluttered, there's stuff everywhere, and then you go to clean it and it's overwhelming. And then you get stressed, and then it just piles up and it gets worse. So if you can resonate with any of those, I've got a tip for you. So what I do in these situations is I bring myself back and I focus on being present in the moment. And it sounds so simple. And some of you are probably asking, well, what is that? I'm living, I am present. But being present in the moment is about being here and now. You're not thinking about all of the mountain of things that you have to do. You're not thinking about what's going to happen in 5 seconds from now. You are just focusing on one thing in the now, because we are creating our future anyway. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the future. So the way to do this is no more multitasking. Multitasking isn't really a thing. It's something that we have created, that we think that we can do multiple things at once, but we really can't. You cannot think about more than one thing at a time. So it is impossible to truly and honestly multitask. When you think you're multitasking, you're really doing two things back to back. You're not doing them at the exact same time. So if we stop multitasking, then we're in the present moment because we're focusing on one thing. So that would be choosing from that mountain of things that you have to do, choose one. Which one of those things is most important to you, to your heart in that moment, and do that. Put everything else aside, pretend it doesn't exist, and just do that one thing. And you can set a timer, for 10 or 20 minutes, however long you want to dedicate to that task. And then when the timer is up, you're done. If you got it done, fantastic. If you didn't get it done, that's fantastic too. Then you can come back to it another day. Also getting rid of distractions. So you might be working and maybe, a coworker does come in and says, hey, do you have a minute to help me with something? And this kind of connects to what, Matt, with what you were saying, but it's okay to say no. It is okay to say, I can't be distracted right now. I'm focusing on X right now. So I'm going to do this, but I'm happy to help you later. I think that's a big thing, that continues to pile on the stress is when we stop to do something for somebody else when it's not what we are in the middle of doing. And then what we need to get done or what we're trying to get done gets pushed to the side and it adds to our plate. So we kind of let other people's problems or the things that other people need to get done become ours, and we take that on. So kind of saying no to distractions, maybe having a separate place that you're working. If you're at work, maybe you close your door. If you're at home, maybe you have an office or a space that's yours that you can kind of go to do what you got to do. But that just helps eliminate distractions as well. But it's really cool what happens when you live in the present moment, focused on literally one thing and one thing only. You enter what's called vertical time. And it literally makes time feel longer. It feels like you have more of it, because rather than going linear, like what we experience on a day-to-day in our typical world, time goes vertically. And that is something that we also teach and talk about more in our coaching. So that's a strategy that I have that can help with the stress and anxiety in that regard.
So when and I love it because when time goes vertical, so basically what you're saying is that's where we're accessing the quantum field, right? And then we can make anything that we desire come to us, right? Because when we're vertical, we're in time space instead of space time, where time is infinite, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
love it.
my internet's a little wonky, so some of that was kind of blurred out, but I think I caught the most of what you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically yeah, so hopefully, but yeah, so I love it. And also focusing on that one task keeps us in the now,
Mm-hmm.
and like you're saying, because if you're focused on one thing, only one thing, and you're present, then our brain won't shoot into the past and worry about things that we had to do yesterday or the day before. And it won't be worrying, having anxiety about the future. You'll only be focused on the now.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. And it really is amazing. You will find that if you try to do that, and it's a practice, it's not something that immediately is going to be easy. But the more you do it, you're going to find that that mountain of things that you have to do, because you're entering vertical time, it's going to feel so much easier to get the same amount or even more stuff done than you
Right.
ever have before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can't see anything else right now. My internet, like I said, is being a little wonky. But we will definitely check the comments. If anyone has comments, share them with us. If anyone has any questions, please drop them in the comment box, or you can reach out to us, create a thread. You can message us. We are always happy to help and answer any questions about anything we shared tonight, anything else that you have. And we also want to share that we have, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have so many, excuse me, so many more tips that we want to share with you, but we know that it is late for some of you, and we want to let you get on with your evenings. So we want to come back. We are going to do a special masterclass for anyone who wants to learn more, ask specific questions, and get a little bit more detail with that. So we are going to be doing a special, never done before event on November 17th. And this is going to be at 7:30 p.m. EST time zone. So we are going to have that open up on Monday or Tuesday. Definitely by Tuesday, we'll have that up. We will put it out in our group for anyone that wants to register and join. It's going to be amazing. And you will have the chance to ask any personal questions, in addition to getting many more tips that we have in our toolbox to share with you. When it releases, we are going to have about a week where we are going to do early bird pricing. So anyone who registers early, you're going to get a discount for that. So for making that quick decision. So Matt, did you have anything else to add on before we sign off?
Just remember, like you were saying, Jill, for everyone listening, just stay focused, stay in the now. When you don't let your mind go into things that happened in the past, and you stay in the now, that's where all your power is. You're not going to be giving your energy away, and then you're going to realize that you now command your day instead of the day commanding you, which is how all the stress happens. So this was great. I love getting on these with you, and thank everyone for coming on with us as well. And be sure to check out our TikTok pages and our Instagram and all that good social media, our YouTube pages, and we're going to be putting out a whole bunch of meditations and everything.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. And we have a YouTube channel as well. So again, drop any questions below, any comments, and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.